Okay, so you guys have really outdone yourselves this time. The stuff you sent over about manifesting what you want, I mean, it's incredible. And there's this one thing, this almost like hidden snag that seems to keep popping up.
You're talking about the whole how and when thing, right? Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it seems so normal to ask those questions, like the next practical step after you've set a goal. But the more we dug into these sources, it's almost like they're suggesting how and when are
The
actually.
roadblocks, like mental booby traps.
Yeah, I even saw one source comparing them to a Trojan horse. Like, you think you're being all smart and strategic, but really you're letting in these sneaky doubts that mess everything up.
And that Trojan horse thing really hits home because it highlights how these questions, even though they seem harmless, might actually be loaded with a need to control things, a lack of trust, maybe. And that can seriously mess with our ability to actually get what we want.
Right. So that's what we're going to tackle today. Why are how and when such a problem, according to this stuff? And, more importantly, what can we do about it?
Love it. So let's start with how. One of the sources you sent really dives into how much our brains are actually doing behind the scenes, and it blew my mind.
Oh, yeah, the conscious versus subconscious thing.
Hmm.
I was floored by that statistic from Dr. Bruce Lipton. 11 million bits of information processed by the subconscious every second, compared to, what, 40 for the conscious mind?
40. It's
It's
nuts.
such a huge gap. It makes you realize how much is going on that we're not even aware of.
And that's where the whole how problem comes in. When we obsess over the exact steps, like how is this going to play out? We're basically trying to cram this massive, complex process into our tiny little conscious minds.
Like trying to squeeze the ocean into a Dixie cup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the sources even used that analogy. And when you think about it that way, no wonder we get stuck.
It's like we're saying to the universe, like, hold on, universe, let me pull out my little planner and tell you exactly how this should work. Like,
Or it's hilarious and tragic at the same time. Because the sources are basically saying, hey, you've got this incredible power within you, this God spark, this infinite potential. Stop trying to shrink it down to fit your limited understanding.
you've got to trust that the universe can handle the details.
100%. So that leads us to this whole logic trap thing.
Oh, yeah, the left brain versus right brain stuff. That's a classic.
Heck yeah.
Logic and reason on one side, intuition and creativity on the other.
And what's fascinating is how the sources point out how much our society values the left brain, the logical side, always analyzing, planning, needing proof.
Which is fine for a lot of things. But,
But when it comes to manifestation, it can be a real buzzkill because we're talking about miracles here, things that defy our normal understanding of logic.
that quote from the Bible came to mind, Matthew 19.26. It says, with men, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible.
So good. It's like, yeah, our human minds can only take us so far.
And then there's that story about the disciples fishing, remember? They're out there all night, fishing on the left side of the boat, and they catch nothing.
Until Jesus tells them to cast the net on the right side, boom, huge catch.
Right. And the source connects that to our brains. The left side, all logical, no luck. The right side, intuitive, open to miracles. And suddenly, everything shifts.
Exactly. So ditch the left brain obsession with how and cast the net to the right. That's the message.
Okay, so we've tackled how. Now, what about when?
Ah, the time trap. That one's tricky because our whole lives are built around time. Birthdays, clocks, deadlines. So it's only natural to wonder when our desires are going to show up.
But here's where things get really interesting. The sources suggest that our concept of time, like this linear thing, might be kind of, well, an illusion, like a human construct that doesn't really reflect the bigger picture.
Whoa.
I know, right? And they even bring up quantum physics. Apparently, there's this whole idea of time-space constraints that suggests time isn't so straightforward beyond our three-dimensional world.
So basically, what we want isn't stuck in some far-off future.
That's the ideal. It's more like everything is happening at once in this quantum field as fourth dimension. So when we keep asking when, we're actually focusing on the absence of what we want. And what do you think the universe does?
Sends us more absence.
Bingo. Because we're basically saying, I don't have it yet, I don't have it yet. And guess what? We continue not having it. Because the universe is like this giant mirror.
Yeah, that's the whole mirror principle thing. As within, so without. It's everywhere in these sources.
So if we're vibrating at a frequency of lack, of when, that's what we get back.
Makes sense. So we've got to shift our internal state.
Exactly. One source even compared it to ordering at a cosmic drive-thru. You wouldn't keep pestering the cashier about when your order's going to be ready or how they're making it, right? You trust the process.
You place your order and expect it to arrive.
It's same with the universe.
Huh.
State your desire, trust it's being taken care of, and expect it to show up.
Love that.
So how do we actually put all this into practice? Thankfully, one of the sources lays out a clear 3-step plan.
Let's hear it.
Step 1, swap when with now. Instead of asking, when will I get this?
Hmm.
Shift your focus to the present moment. Imagine you already have it. Feel the emotions, the gratitude, the excitement.
Fill your emotional tank as if it's already yours. That's such a powerful way to realign your energy.
And step 2 is ditching how for trust. Let go of the need to control every single step. Trust in the universe or God or whatever resonates with you to handle the details.
It's like saying, hey, universe, I know you've got this. Do your thing.
Because you know what? It's not our job to figure out the mechanics. We're
Oh,
not
yeah.
meant to be micromanaging the universe.
We just got to trust that it knows what it's doing.
And that leads to the final step. Step 3, live like it's done.
Okay, break that down.
Act as if you already have what you desire. Make choices, take actions, cultivate beliefs that are in alignment with that reality. It's about becoming the version of yourself who already has it.
So basically embody the feeling, not just think it, but actually live it.
Exactly. And I know that might seem tough, especially if you're still wrestling with doubts. One source recommends exploring what they call the 3 planes of existence: the physical, mental, and spiritual. It's about aligning all those aspects of yourself with your desire.
So you're not just saying you have it, you're actually being it.
Right. And it all goes back to that Trojan horse idea. How and when, those 2 little words, can totally sabotage our dreams if we let them.
Because they keep us stuck in a place of lack and limitation.
And the crazy thing is, the universe has so much more in store for us than we can even imagine. But we've got to get out of our own way.
So the key takeaway, embrace the magic, let go of the need to control, trust the process, and watch what happens.
It's time to ditch the logic trap and tap into that right brain magic. It's time to stop obsessing over how and when and start believing that what we desire is already on its way.
So wrapping up, what we've gleaned from these sources is pretty remarkable. Shifting our focus away from the how and the when seems to be the key to unlocking a whole new level of manifestation.
And to leave you with something to think about. Take a minute to reflect on something you really want. Are you getting hung up on the how or the when? Are you letting those Trojan horses sneak in and mess with your energy? What would happen if you just let go and trusted that the universe has your back?